Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Jay Barry here, and I'm back with another video, here to give my Atlas Fallen review. Yes, as promised, I'm here to talk about Atlas Fallen and give my review and my thoughts and how I felt about the game after platinum in the game in about around 50 some hours, playing the hardest difficulty the game can offer. And yeah, I'm here just to give my thoughts and the things that I did like about the game, the things I didn't like about the game, and hopefully this can help you out as far as if you guys have any interest towards it, or if you guys don't have any interest towards it. But yeah, Atlas Fallen is a game that I typically enjoy the game. Overall, I enjoy the game, but there are a lot of cons when it comes to the game. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So in typical fashion, and how we're going to be doing things here on the channel, when it comes to reviews, we're going to be giving a score before we break down everything on the reasonings on why I gave the score for the game. And my score, like I said, after completing the game, platinum in the game, 100% doing everything in the game, I am giving Atlas Fallen a 7 out of 10. I was leaning towards like a 6.5, 6.8 until I got to like the final boss and certain things at the end of the game. I was like, you know what, I did enjoy that final boss fight, pretty fun fight, and I lean towards a 7.10, which is a 7 out of 10, which is a pretty good score in my opinion. But there's some cons when it comes to this game. And as far as my recommendation of getting this game down for full price, you're going to see why I'm going to say no. As far as my own enjoyment, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, but as far as giving it like a proper recommendation for people to buy, no. And this is my main reason why. So let's get into the cons, man. Major con in my opinion is the lack of support for the PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? We're here third year within the generation, or getting to the third year of the generation, and we still have developers releasing games not fully supporting what the PlayStation 5 can do. And it's kind of disappointing here in this game, because you have all this sand that you can slide on, and they have no implementations of the DualSense here in this controller. No implementations in this game when it comes to the DualSense. You know what I mean? Which I just don't understand this stuff, man. You have a game with all this sand, all this stuff that you can do, and it would be nice to have that feedback, especially when we experience things like that, like in the Astro Bot and the Returnal and any other PlayStation first party game. Especially dealing with like terrain and different type of terrain and whatnot, like sand. You could have definitely had some type of implementation to make it feel like we're sliding in the sand and whatnot, but nope, they didn't do any of that at all when it pertains to Atlas Fallen. I don't really think they even took advantage of like the SSD or anything like that either. The SSD, when you fast travel in the game, not saying that it's slow, but I've seen way faster fast time loading screens, like Forspoken, which is like less than a second, and that game is way bigger, way more grander than Atlas Fallen, what it can offer. Another con that I have for the game is pretty much like the overall look. I don't think it's bad, but I feel like it could be much better, especially later on. If this is not the beginning, if this was the beginning of the generation, I would even bring up this. But the fact that this is like going into 3 years into the generation, I'm like, are you really harnessing the power of this console? So graphically, I felt like it was fine, but fine is not cutting it in this day and age, at this time period of the generation, in my personal opinion. So graphics, I feel like it could be way better. They could have done much more, and yeah, that's my overall opinion on that. Other things that I felt like was kind of wonky with the game is just like there's no real like cut scenes with the game. Everything's like kind of real time with dialogue and all that stuff. So whatever jank that is brought into that dialogue is going to be all over the screen. So there's an example of me where there's this character. He had like a whole bunch of scrolls in the back of his in his backpack or whatnot, and before the actual dialogue scene triggered, like his backpack was just bugging out, like the scrolls and everything was just all over the place, and it just looked weird. You know, people having this conversation, this backpack is just all over the place, and a lot of things happen like that within the game. So it was a lot of jank. You could definitely tell that this game needed a lot more polish. You know, during my experience of the game, you know, and it definitely took you out of some of the stuff. You know, like I said, you play a lot of these games and you experience some of the stuff. You know, you see it one time, oh, that's kind of funny, whatever, it is what it is. But when you see it a couple of times, you know, more often, it's just like, nah, man, that you need more time to cook. you need more time to cook, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah. A lot of jank goes on in this game. Another thing that I kind of disliked is, like, I don't really like how it felt when it came to the lock on, you know, with the game. I kind of understand it a little bit, because the lock on, there's multiple parts with you know, enemies, so it's not like a true lock on where you're just locking onto a specific part. But I just felt like it could have felt better. In my personal opinion, like, it didn't feel right, in my personal opinion, you know. But yeah, a lot of jank, a lot of issues with the game overall, just playing through it. But there's a lot of good stuff in the game as well. Overall, I felt like the game combat is pretty fun. I like how you can customize your character with all these perks and all these stones that you collect throughout the game. It makes it very, very fun, because you get a lot of these essence stone power up things, whatever they call it, and you can really, really customize how you want your character to be within the game. And some of the builds that you can create within the game is pretty fun to use. Like, enemies trying to attack you, but you get like auto, you know, sand skin and whatnot just to parry these guys. It's very fun. You know what I mean? So yeah, the combat, the system mechanics, I felt like it was really, really fun in the game. I also felt like the game was pretty challenging. You know, in the beginning, I started this game like on normal difficulty, just going into it. But, you know, I was like, you know what, let me see what this hard difficulty is, because the normal difficulty kind of, you know, challenging out here. Let me see what the hard difficulty can be like. And yeah, the hard difficulty was pretty challenging. It took me much longer than I expected to complete the game, but yeah, like, enemies definitely tank a lot of your hits. You definitely have to be more on point with your parry, with your sand stone skin, and yeah, you kind of have to be careful on how you approach enemies on hard difficulty. It definitely had me questioning too. It's like, damn, man, am I going to complete this game? Because that final boss was really, really difficult in the game. So, you know what I mean, definitely was a much needed change. It wasn't like a challenge where it's just like, oh, this game's just overall just cheap. It was a good challenge where I felt like maybe I need to customize my build a little more just to get me an easier time, or the strengths that I have, like parrying, or the strengths that I have with like movement and whatnot. Let me put my, you know, my buffs and my perks towards that, so I can use that, in battle, like, as my advantage. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. It definitely felt a lot of fun, just, you know, constantly making different builds and constantly adjusting within the game. But yeah, like, really and truly, that is my pros when it comes to this game. Like, combat is good, the system mechanics are good, the customizations is pretty good, the actual enemies, you know, being very, very, like, different. There's a lot of different enemies out here offering different experiences and adjusting your gameplay. I really enjoyed that stuff within the game. I felt like they did a great job doing all those things within the game. But the things like the jank, you know, the dialogue, the story overall is not strong here. You're not playing this game for the story. I felt like some of the story beats and plots didn't make any sense at all. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain scenes in this game I was like, did the writers come together and like make sure everything was like a cohesive, coherent, you know, story that they're trying to output here, or Let's have a proper dialogue with something that has happened prior to the game, that all of a sudden that you don't know what's happening within the game. It just felt a little bit weird seeing some of that stuff. But overall, I did enjoy my experience with Atlas Fallen. And yeah, you know, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, man. But can I recommend this game at full price? No, I cannot. I definitely think you should wait for a sale or a price decrease. But I do think that there's some fun here to have. And if you enjoy gameplay and things like that, I definitely think you will have a good time, or a fun time here with it. But yeah, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. That is my thoughts on Atlas Fallen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the review. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, man. If you guys are going to pick the game up or you're not, you're going to wait it out. There's too much games out. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you guys really enjoyed, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. It's your boy Jay Bari. And I'm gone. Deuces.